Hello, everybody. How are we doing? You know what? I forgot my hat. All right. There we go. I can't do this without my hat. You guys know that. All right. All right. How are we doing today, guys? So, Alex from Sleaford, they will be joining here shortly. If they're not already in the chat room. So he had to work. So remember, it is right now 10 o'clock over there right now. So we're going to wait for him to get here. And once he's here, we're going to get going with the interview with them. But I went out today and I found another pew pew today. Very old, very crusty, very nasty. It's actually sitting in the back right now. There was no reason for me to even think about turning this one in. So I just kept it, and it's sitting in the back right now, sitting in some CLR. But I found it at the same spot that I found the one last week. So it was a pretty cool find. Let's see. Who all do we have in here? Got Dave Jordan. Hey, how you doing? Let me get back up here to the top. We've got Oregon family. Magnet Fishing is in the house. Fat Magnet Guy, Starry Lock. J. Paul. J. Paul, I don't remember if I even made you I did. Okay. I wasn't sure if I'd made you a moderator before or not. Oh, let's see. Starry Lock. Dawn the Metal Detective. Hey, you guys were in here early chatting. Wow. I appreciate that. Thanks, guys. Y'all are in here waiting. Mary Monart. Oh, you know we do, Mary. You know we do. Absolutely. And thank you. Let me see. Trying to see who else is here. 907's in the house. Hey, brother man, how you doing? Iron Antler, Beard, Pond Scum Magnet Fishing. What's going on? And then there's Dave. Oh, Judy Smith. I've got some stuff I've got to mail out, and it will be going out tomorrow. So there's a number of people who I've got to get some stickers and stuff mailed out to. So expect that to be coming here in the next week. We got DS Magnet Fishing. Oh, there's Dave Johnson again. All right. And so sweet. All right. So once I've already sent him the link. So once he gets here and logs in and comes in down here in the bottom, but I want to show you guys something else. I was driving home and I saw something sitting in the middle of the road, and you know, doing what we do, you see stuff like this, you got to turn your little butt around and go back and get it. So I went back and picked up this. This was laying in the middle of the road. This thing is heavy. It's heavy. It is a it says 250 bar 3,6 KPSI, and then NCT Bora. Not really sure what this is, but it's some type of boring jet in a, I don't know. I've never seen something like this before, but I did look it up. So that was pretty cool. Oh, I see Sleaford Dipper is in the house. Right on. No, I don't use the post office anymore. I go to the UPS store. They're so much easier to deal with than the post office. Okay. So, anybody else get out today and do a little bit of magnet fishing or treasure hunting, metal detecting, anything like that? Anybody got any cool stories? I know we were just on last night together. Today is a special, and I'm going to look forward to these. I'm not going to say on a regular basis, but maybe once a month. I'm going to try to get a channel from over in the UK to come on, and it'll have to be special like this because of the time. It won't always be this late in the afternoon. It might be a little bit earlier depending on the channel that I'm talking with. But it would be really cool to do one of these at least once a month to get some of the faces of the UK channels up over here and vice versa. So if there's anybody who has not yet had a chance to check them out, let me go in real fast. I know I saw them come in. So I need to go over here real fast and give them moderator. Oh, DS, I'm going to make you a moderator also so that you can post a link to your channel. There they are. All right. Now, Sleaford, you are also a moderator now, so you can post your link as well. So, yeah, Alex, when you're ready, brother man, just click on that link that I sent you. It'll open up StreamYard and just follow the directions for what it says for you to, and then you'll pop up down here in the bottom of my screen, and there you are. All right. So, got some Ponscom said they found some railroad stuff, 5-pound weightlifting discs. All right, that's cool. Getting out there. Yeah, I found myself a little piece today. So, all right, guys, Alex, guys, you ready? I'm about to bring you up. Here we go.
Hello.
Right on.
How are you doing?
Introduce everybody to the Sleaford Dippers. Guys, you want to introduce yourselves real fast?
Hi, I'm Alex.
I'm Jason.
There's a few more of us. Couldn't be here tonight, unfortunately, but maybe we'll do another one where we can all be here.
That's all right. We definitely, but introduce yourselves. Who are you? Where are you from? You know, what all you got going on?
All right, fair. Well, we're from a little town in the UK called Sleaford, hence the Sleaford Dippers. We've only been going at this, 5-6 months?
Yeah.
About 5 months. It's just something we really enjoy doing. We're a group of friends. We get out there. We explore new places. Oh, we've got a small child as well. Stop.
Sorry
That's
about
okay.
this.
All of our small childs are big childs. Now,
Get crashed by a small child.
I'm George. You just want to sit here. There we go. Look, there they are. You wave. No. Is it? No. Yeah. So really, we just get out there. We go out there, have fun, find cool stuff. Yeah. There's not really an awful lot to our story. We're a group of friends. Been watching magnet fishing on YouTube for a long time, and then decided that it's something that we quite fancied having a go at.
Well, and see, that's the question I was about to ask you: is what got you started? What got you interested? How'd you get rolling with doing magnet fishing?
It's YouTube. There's so many different magnet fishing groups out there these days that it's almost impossible to miss.
Yes, it's true.
There's a few really big ones in the UK that got us into it, and from there it just sort of progressed. So
It's all over social media, as I'm sure you're aware. You know, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, all the different social media platforms. For me personally, one of the main reasons behind me getting into magnet fishing is because I go normal fishing, so like in the lakes and the rivers and stuff like that. So in a way, we're kind of clearing the river so that when I go and partake in my other hobby, it's a lot better for fishing normally, if you like, for fish.
Right.
Let's snap for your line.
Yes, I've actually had a lot of fishermen thank me for pulling stuff up out of the water, and then of course you pull stuff up out of the water and it's just covered with fishing gear, with tackle all over everything. So it's always
That's
nice.
it. Well, we went out for a little bit last night to film another video. I actually pulled out on one pull 3 lures. You know, it's almost impossible to tell sometimes when you throw it out to the middle. When you pull back, you don't know where you've actually got it. But
Right.
there was three lures attached to one magnet pull. The area we was fishing yesterday was under an old railway bridge, and there was lots of snags. So I can only imagine that there's a lot more in there.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. You got to think you've got stuff down there that's been down there for who knows how long. You got people who have been fishing in those areas over many years. You know, you're bound to not to just find lures, but you might even find some fishing poles and stuff coming up with them.
Found fishing rods before, haven't we? I found one or two in different locations. Was actually out just us the other night, last night, and we bumped into another fishing group while I was there. And one of the lads there turned around and says that the bridge was fishing under was around about 100 years old. So some of the things was pulling up the track bolts and track clips, bridge parts and that were potentially from, well, 100 years ago.
Yeah, and just the thought of that is really cool.
Yeah, I like the old things. Anything that's old that I find, I always try and keep. One thing for me is square nails. I don't know why. I just really like them. I know they're old.
Yes. Pull up a lot of those over here too.
Yeah, you know that they're old because of the fact they're forged. They're square. It just makes you wonder, where did they come from? What did they do? What did they hold together? Who made it? Just really quite enjoy that.
We got DS Magnet Fishing has a question for you.
That's Daniel Slack. Hello, Dan.
He wants to know, what is your worst find?
What's my worst? It's magnetic rock, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, when you pull your magnet out and it's just slap covered with nothing but all that stuff. It's we have a channel over here from Alaska called Alaskans on the Fly, and he has a term for that called gobbledygoo.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you pull your magnet up and it's just covered with garbage like that, and it's just called gobbledygoo.
Yeah, well, grudge. We've got something we call gobbledygook over here, but that's just when you're talking nonsense.
Well, and that's when you pull that up, the gobbledygoo that's all over your magnet is nonsense.
It's nonsense, yeah. The other ones are the swamp weed we pull out, and we call it the grudge because it looks like the grudge coming out of the water with the dank hair and
yeah,
you know, the grudge from the film, like The Ring and all that.
Right, I know.
Yeah, the girl with the long black wet hair and all that. Yeah, well, you pull it out and it's just got all that pond weed stuck to it, dangling down.
So, Pond Scum Magnet Fishing would like to know what you guys do for collabs over there. Do y'all get together for collabs?
There are collabs, yeah. We're going to one, not Jason, myself personally. I'm going to one with another member of the group. There's a few of us going. It's a little while away from here. It's in Manchester. It's about 2.5 hour drive. That's going to be quite a large one, I believe. That's a charity event in aid of Help for Heroes, which is a military veterans charity over here. Sorry?
Somebody just subscribed.
That's good.
Oh yeah. There was one really big one a few weeks ago.
Yes, there was.
Yeah, hosted by the Outcast guys. I think that one was questionably, I think it probably was the biggest. I believe they had about 250 magnet fishers there that day.
Raised a lot of money for cancer as well, cancer research. So it's always good.
Yeah. I was watching Snapwater's Raiders version of that.
Yeah.
And they're walking up and down the line talking with people, and it's like he walked forever. And there's just magnet.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It did look like a really good fun day, though.
Yes,
we couldn't be there that day, but we will make it to others. As far as collabs go, there's nothing stopping magnet fishing groups all around the UK joining up. I know actually Dan Slack is at the Northwest Magnet Fishing Group, so there's quite a few of those in there. There's DS Magnet, Blackpool, and There's quite a few more. I can't actually remember all the names. There's too many groups to remember. So they meet up quite a lot, I do see. And yeah, I mean, we're still relatively new, finding our feet.
Right.
So mostly we just go out by ourselves.
Yeah, I think it might sound a bit like greedy and stuff, but we kind of use the collabs we can get to as almost like a networking type of thing, because obviously, like Alex said, we are quite new to it. We do have a YouTube channel, obviously, and we have Instagram, Facebook, and stuff like that. But getting to meet all of these influential people in magnet fishing UK helps us grow as a group as well, so we can share our finds and crazy days out with everybody else. Get more people into it, people out of the house. Seems good.
That's what I enjoy, getting out of the house.
Yeah.
I've got a wife and a small child I like to escape from.
Yep. You got the question down here wants to know, has the government over there ever dredged the canals?
They do get dredged. We've got the waterways, what they're called, canals and
Canal and River Trust.
Yeah, River Trust, that's the one. Don't really know how much they take out. A lot of the places we fish as well are really silty, so if they take anything out, it's mostly just a lot of the weeds, branches that have fallen in that I've seen, especially around my area. So anything that's there is really buried under the silt.
I think they tend to do it in almost like preparation for all the bad weather we have over in this country, and stop them from flooding and things like that. So it's more of a preventative measure, I think, rather than to stop people fishing or.
As well as I think a lot of the things that they do take out is mostly just the visible things. If it's just laying on the top, they'll find it and take it. I've actually got a river that runs just at the end of my street, and they pull so much out of that. But mostly it's just weed and branches that have fallen off trees. They just pile it in the back of a van and take off with it.
So they're not really getting down there to the treasure that you'd be looking for with your magnets then.
No, I mean, the one at the end of my street isn't really that deep. I've got one at the other side of me as well, saying that it's not that deep. We went for 20 minutes one afternoon. I put a car jack and a big stainless steel type of dog bowl and a sign of some kind, weren't they? And yeah, a couple of brackets, but just junk, really.
All right.
For all the fun stuff that needs to be in the cities.
So, Pond Scum Magnet Fishing has another question for you. They want to know what are the regulations for magnet fishing in the canals over there?
That's actually a really good question. From what I understand, they'll tell you no all the time. There's a pretty stock answer, but there's no laws against not fishing. Is it the Thames? Is it? Yeah. We look for signs that say no fishing, no magnet fishing. If it says no magnet fishing, we won't fish there. But other than that, if there's no sign saying we can't do it, then it's fair game.
Do you actually run into signs that say that? Because I've never seen any of that over here.
There was one in the nearest city to us in Lincoln. There is a stretch of waterway over there. It's got a sign saying no fishing and no magnet fishing, which is actually it's a real shame because it looks like a really good spot as well.
Hey, that sucks.
Yeah.
There's a lot of boats and like people go in the river and mess about in there and stuff. So potential to find some quite good stuff, but I guess because of the traffic, it kind of is limited. It's non-existent.
I think sometimes. I think sometimes local councils can put a little block on stretches where explosives have been found or a vast amount of explosives have been found. That's like local authorities and things like that. But other than that, really, we do every now and then come across somewhere that says no magnet fishing. Obviously, if it's a gated area, then we don't go in. Private land, we don't go in. It's all pretty much fair game unless we've been told otherwise.
Let's see, there was another question I saw it and I went to click on it in the chat. One thing that happens in here a lot is the chat moves so fast sometimes. So I'm listening to you and I'm trying to read and trying to keep up with stuff, and I'll go to click on something to bring it up on the screen, and I'll go to click on it and it's gone. Where did it go? Let's see. Got a Martin at Sleaford Dippers in here.
Oh, that's our Martin, that is. Hello, Martin.
Having to travel a lot further away to find some good or somewhere that's been untouched. Yep.
It can be quite difficult, especially with it being such a growing trend now. And then there's us that's joining this growing trend as well. Finding areas that are untouched can be quite difficult these days.
Yes. So Dave Jordan there wants to know if you're looking forward to fishing over the winter.
I am actually looking forward to fishing in the winter because all the pondweed dies off.
Well, there you go. That helps. So that helping.
Not pulling up all that slimy grudge stuff. You can actually throw your magnet and pull it back without having crud on it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Pondweed and all that. Hi, Dave, by the way. I said I'd say hello.
Well, cool. So if any of you are in here right now who have not checked out, what y'all just put up your second video today, right?
Well, yeah, it was about 1 a.m. the time I finished. This way, it was about 1 o'clock, yeah.
So I haven't had a chance to go look at it yet. I saw that it was there, but I've been busy. I'm planning on sitting down a little bit later and doing that. I'm also got college football going up on the television here too. I got my Florida Gators are getting beat by Alabama right now, but that was expected. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your first video, your experience filming and editing your first video, and where you're at in your learning process on that?
It was shocking, and I've not learned anything. Yeah, no. So our problem is trying to get us together. We all work, and with the nights that are drawing in now as well, it's getting a lot darker, a lot quicker, and trying to get decent footage with decent light is quite difficult. And then we start finding better and better things. We want to carry on recording, and it's getting darker. The editing side of things I actually quite enjoy, as much as a faff as it is. Try and add a little bit of comedy in there. Maybe I like writing stuff on the screen and adding sound effects.
Right.
The recording's the annoying bit.
Yeah, there's enough comedy in the videos just from watching us, to be fair. I mean, we do some crazy stuff sometimes. Like, we've all been for a swim several times trying to get the magnets out when they've got stuck, which is not ideal.
Yeah, I was going to say, some of the canals over there don't look like they're meant to be swam in.
No.
Although you say that, the day that Martin and I went to Nottingham for the first time, Martin actually lost one of my magnets. He didn't lose it, we got it back, but that got well and truly snagged. That morning we got there was 2 old deers swimming up and down the middle of the river. So we thought it must be okay. That day I pulled a machete out, a gun out. There was a few knives found. Sorry?
A pew pew.
Yeah, pew pew. I pulled an old Singer sewing machine out. So I pulled a carrier bag full of drill parts. So, I mean, there was absolutely plenty of things in there. I've seen other groups have been fishing the same stretch for days, pulling endless shopping trolleys and motorbikes and all sorts of things out, yet people still swimming it.
Yeah, that's just... Oops. Doggone it, there it went happen again. There we go. So Pond Scum has another question for you. She wants to know, do you find much unexploded ordnance?
Yes, there's always potential to find it. We haven't found an awful lot, although we do have some, which is getting ready for the amnesty. Like to sort of wait and see. It's pointless getting the police involved for one thing every week, so save up a few things.
Right.
You might be able to tell us what they are.
Just remember, you can't show any guns.
Oh, no, we're not showing our guns.
Okay. There you go. Yep.
And as well, shotgun shells.
Heck yeah.
So yes, there are other people in the UK fishing community that have found a lot better things than that.
You know, it's just a matter of time, though, because it's everybody who goes out magnet fishing, especially if you're hitting the same spots as other people, you have just as much chance to pull up what they pulled up as they did. It just so happens to be that they found it. So, you know, it's chance, because you can't see what's down there half the time. Majority of the time, you can't see what's down there.
No, that's right, especially if it's buried in any silt and everything as well.
Yes.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was
Hey,
saying
Mike,
to you.
thank you very much. Appreciate that, sir.
We went fishing one afternoon, and I'd been fishing in the same spot for nearly an hour. Got nothing really, like a few bits of scrap, a few nails, stuff like that. Alex comes along, chucks his magnet in first pull, and he had it was just a 2.2 air rifle. I must have been either side of it, I believe. You know, it's just one of those things, and it's annoying, but it does happen.
Well, there was another day when you and Martin were fishing one spot in Newark for a long time, and I came in and found a small 2.2 rimfire pistol.
Yeah.
In the same spot.
Absolutely. Well, I was at a spot today where I found the gun last week. I found another one today on the other side, and it's like it's in a spot where we have thrown and thrown and thrown, and it was just it's a real small. I mean, the thing like barely fits. I mean, it's right in the middle of my hand. It's just a little 22 revolver.
Really?
I've got it sitting in some cleaner right now, but it's one of those things where you know that magnet has gone by that, and it's probably bumped it and moved something around it.
Knocked a rock over it, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you use for cleaning? What solutions? What?
Right now, I'm using a product called CLR, calcium lime rust. CLR. I'll get it real fast and show you. This is what I'm using right now.
Okay.
Huh.
We've heard that Harpic ×10 bleach works really well, actually. I don't know if that might be rust remover. See, that's one thing that we have actually noticed. See, in America, the gun crime in America is obviously a lot higher than the UK. The guns are so much more easily accessible in the UK. We do find them, and mostly we find knives and things like that. The UK just suffers with knife crime. It's all over.
Right.
So we're probably more likely to find knives and things like that. Like
it. Dave says that he used, was it Harpic Black?
Harpic ×10, yeah.
Okay.
So we've got a few of these bits here. The day that I found the rifle, I actually found this mean-looking double thing.
That's wild.
That's definitely dangerous.
That's one of the smaller items we found.
I found this one. We'd actually found 5 knives this particular day. I've had it on authority that this was probably quite a common style Bowie from the 1960s, 70s. I tried to clean it up a little and find a maker's mark, but I couldn't. But there's that one.
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah.
This one we found the same day.
Oh, we found this one on the same day and cleaned it up. This is actually a military knife. They're called clasp knives. So these were issued to the British military. They're all date stamped as well. So this one's actually from 1954, which is really cool.
Yeah, no kidding. That is really cool.
That one was one of Jason's best finds. Was fishing quite a shallow spot one afternoon. I'd taken my 2 older kids out for a few hours. Jason come along, and I pulled this out. Well, I can't really angle it. There we go. Nice big machete.
Yeah, it is. No kidding.
And then a little while the day I was out with Martin, I found a gun. I also found this machete.
Good grief.
So we do find a lot of knives and machetes, things like that. All of these are going to go in the amnesty bin. When you reached out and asked me if we would like to do this live, I saved them all. I thought I was actually going to get rid of them sort of this last week. But I thought, no, I'll save them and show you guys the type of stuff that we could find potentially over here.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm glad you did. Absolutely.
One of my favourite finds is this, actually. It needs cleaning up. It'll look nice quite decoratively. It's a mooring hook.
Oh, yeah.
Used off the barges and things like that. Quite enjoyed finding that one.
See, stuff like that I love finding. And just the ornamental, ornate, historical stuff like that. Finding guns and finding knives is that's always awesome. That's what it is. But finding neat historical items like that, that's what really makes this fun.
I watched one of your Squatching from the other day. Is it Murph's Magnet or something?
Yes.
And he said at the end of his giveaway video about the history of items, and it really did sort of make me think, because that's my attitude against it. If you find something old, it's like, what gave it that life? How did it end up in the water? What did it do? Who made it? What was it used for, etc.? And I really enjoy that.
Yeah, I do too. Dawn wants to know what is the amnesty bin?
Amnesty bin is where you throw away, with local police stations, etc. Is where you throw away all your knives, guns, things like that, and then they destroy it.
Okay. See, that's you just don't have people over here very willing to do that normally.
I mean, ideally, ideally, I wouldn't really want to, but the laws change all the time. Like for a pocket knife over here, the law is you can carry sub 3 with no lock. So it's
like a Swiss Army
like
knife.
a pen knife. Where is mine?
No idea.
Do you know what? The one day that my wife tidies up, and I don't know where anything is. I don't know where my pocket knife is. I pulled a Swiss Army knife on my first throw with a brand new magnet, cleaned it all up, and I use it quite a lot when we go fishing. It's got a sub 3 blade, and it doesn't lock. So as long as that's as long as that's you're carrying it with good reason, then it's within the laws of the legality over here. If it's got a lock on it and the blade won't fold, that's illegal. If it's over 3 inches, that's illegal. So even small things like that are different over here.
Yeah, I just find that completely insane. But hey,
I like
what it
knives.
is.
So some
Donna
things.
says that you should make a trophy wall from all the knives that you find.
I mean, I suppose that would be pretty cool, even if it is maybe slightly illegal. I mean, this one machete, the first machete I showed you, I've tried to clean up a couple of times, see if I can find any kind of maker's mark on it, but the rust is too deep in it. It'll just take too much effort for what I can be bothered with on that one.
Right.
Sometimes it's better to just cut your losses.
It's yeah, I can understand that. If it's going to get you in trouble, stay away from it.
Well, yeah, there is that too. So I wanted to know what kind of magnets you use a lot of flat-sided magnets. I see a lot of American magnet fishers using mostly flat-sided magnets and the big double-sided magnets.
Yes.
Over here, you don't often see that. I was wondering if the companies over there offered any other kind of sort of magnets.
They're starting to.
Yeah.
One of the big companies over here is called Brute, and there's another company that's really getting going, Rogue. But I think Rogue is actually out of Australia, I believe. But then there's another one that's just getting going over here called Kratos. But most of the magnets. Say again?
I've heard of Brute and Kratos, or Kratos, or whatever.
Well, Brute, most of the magnets that are over here are the single-sided or the double-sided. You know, like I have a 3,600 pound magnet. It's 1,800 pound pull on each side.
Each side?
On each side, yes.
That's cool.
I also have a single-sided 1,400 pound magnet. I used to have, and unfortunately I lost it, a 2,100 pound. It was called the Dock Buster, but it was 2,100 pound pull force on one side.
What's that in kilograms?
So it was an incredible magnet. My girlfriend got that for me for Christmas last year, and then I promptly lose it this year. And we got caught up in some rocks in a canal I was not going in the canal to get the rocks. We've got things in canals down here that you don't want to go in. They've got big sharp teeth and fangs and poison and big jaws and all sorts of things. So
we've got pike.
Wolf, right? We've got alligator gar. We've got snapping turtle. It's just you just stay out of the water typically in those canals. But we do have, and we are starting to get, and probably for about the last 6 months, I'd say, some of the bigger channels, some of them have been buying some of the 360 magnets, like Magnet Store. What is it? Magnetar. And
magnets. Magnetar, yeah.
Yeah. So they've been going with some of those 360s. I've even seen a few over here who've gotten some of the clamp magnets. Kratos is the first American company, and he's based in America, who is selling the 360. So he beat a lot of the other companies to it here in America. And I've actually fished with that magnet from my friend Jason from his channel, Daddy and Daughter Plus Water. And that magnet is so light. It's a 3,800 pound pool magnet, and it weighs like 4.5 pounds.
What's the 3,800 pound? That's going to be somewhere in the region of maybe this one, which is 1,600 kilo.
It probably.
So that's,
yeah, and that's about what it looks like.
Oh look, I've got money on this from yesterday. I didn't even know. I haven't cleaned my magnet yet.
We can't do that over here unless we find foreign coins. we don't have that problem.
Well,
1 second. That is actually a bore. Like you put it in the pressure and it'll go through. I was showing her today coming back from magnet fishing, driving down the road, and I see something in the middle of the road, and I'm like, holy crap, that looked like a very large bullet. It's not, but I find this laying in the road today.
Fair
This
enough.
thing probably weighs about as much as that magnet, if not more, that's in your hand right there.
I don't actually know how much his magnet weighs. Shall we weigh it?
I think it was 2.5.
This thing has got to be somewhere between 6 or 7 pounds. And it's a bore head. It's a jet bore. So like I guess they attach it to the end of like a pipe or something,
Christ.
and they use it to bore through, like when they're running pipe and whatnot.
I can't weigh my magnet.
when the scale comes up with the magnet, it kind of takes away from the effectiveness of it.
I mean, I don't know what I was thinking, to be honest. This is a powerful magnet. There's metal in the scales. This is a really good advert for being British. We're not always that intelligent.
Oh, hey, I was just mentioning Daddy and Daughter Plus Water, and I just see that they're in here.
Oh, brilliant. Hello.
Yeah,
Today was his daughter's birthday. So happy birthday to Lauren.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, back to the magnet. We obviously, as a group, we have magnets from, well, we're sponsored by Online Magnets. So, you know, any of you guys in the UK that need a magnet, get on Online Magnet store. Use the code Sleaford10, cheeky little 10% discount. We tend to use them. We've used them more for the clamp magnets rather than the 360s, purely through financial.
It was
Financial decisions, if you like. But we got the two 360 magnets that we use, the Barbarian and the Terror.
They're from Magnetar.
Magnetar. So
I don't like going anywhere without either the Magnetar, Barbarian, or the Terror. There's absolutely nothing that they don't like. Last night, I got stuck on something, and I got stuck on it a couple of times. Managed to free my magnet, and then about the third time I was on it, it was on, and it wasn't coming off. And a friend of ours came for the first time yesterday. He took the Terror, and he had a go, and that was stuck. So the Terror is 1,000 kilogram. The Barbarian is 1,600. We actually pulled out in the end a metal skip bin. The big metal wheelie bin type things, like I don't know what they call them, the skip bins. Them big bins with the folding lids. You see tramps sleeping in them.
Right. Yeah. Gotcha. So
yes, the magnet group that we caught up with yesterday, that we actually ended up fishing with by accident, said that there's a few magnet groups around that area that have been getting snagged on it for weeks, and there's been about 4 groups that haven't been able to pull it out. So we felt kind of chuffed last night, didn't we?
Yeah.
There you go.
And
you're like the hero.
That's it.
Well, we try.
And this little bit of kit here is absolute wonder as well. It's called an ascender. It's essentially rock climbing gear.
You know, I saw in your video you using that, and I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah.
It just claps onto your rope with the teeth. They're backwards, so when it's on, you can pull backwards. You can't pull backwards, but once you've started pulling, you can push forwards and keep pulling back.
Right.
Absolutely brilliant. Saves your hands so much stress.
I might have to look into getting one of those, because what I typically do is I wrap the rope around my wrist and pull, and then loosen and get another grip of it wrapped around my wrist and pull, and that can be painful sometimes.
I'm developing a bruise across the side of my hand there from doing that yesterday.
Yes.
So just one of these is an absolute saver sometimes.
Might have to look into one of those and start pushing that out for everybody else to use as well. So
definitely, especially when you're on something big and you just need that little bit extra pulling power.
Yeah, that would have helped with the motorcycle. So we were talking about the gobbledygoo earlier, and that's what I had highlighted there. We had Alaskans on the Fly come in here. He's the one who who really coined the term gobbledygoo for the magnet fishing community. So he had the question, do you guys have gobbledygoo over there? And I was going to let him know that we have already covered that subject. Yes, we have. So they definitely do have gobbledygoo over there as well, Alaskans on the Fly.
Yeah, don't we just? I've got some on my magnet still. I only just took it out of the car, but it's still, I don't even know if you can see.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, got it.
I couldn't be bothered unloading the car when I got home. It was too late. So I stunk it out all day today at work.
And it's out those 360 magnets. It's hard to get stuff like that off of it.
It can be, yeah. Tend to just use a plastic scraper sometimes, get it to the edge, and then just pull it off with my hand.
Yeah, that's about the best way that you can do it. Yeah, because I've got a plastic putty knife that I keep with me for cleaning it.
Yeah. I use a used. Sorry, I dropped it in the water yesterday. Just an ice scraper, plastic ice scraper.
Yeah, that kind of stuff helps. So number one, it saves your hand. Excuse me, because you start grabbing hold of that, and you don't know what's on there. It's going to poke your hand, poke your glove.
That's
so being
it,
able to use that, it makes it so easy to scrape stuff off.
Yeah. So do you think you'll be trying the 360 magnets in the future?
Oh, I am going to. I've already spoken with Ben, the owner of Kratos, and I'll be getting I want the 360, but he has a clamp coming that he is more excited about than his 360. And
fair enough.
Yeah, so I'm waiting to hear about this little bit more information about this clamp that he has coming out. That is going to be right now I think he has out a 2,400 pound clamp, and he said this one is much stronger than the 2,400 pound clamp. So
I mean, I suppose it's always going to be down to preference, isn't it? What you enjoy using. I much prefer the 360 myself. I just know that if something's going to slide off it, it's just going to ping back around the other side.
Right. And I definitely like using the 360. The time that I use it with Jason, his magnet, that thing, you just stuff that I was hitting and I know it was there and my magnet just wasn't getting it off. His magnet hit it and just flap, and it released it from the mud, and it was just amazing.
I like the weight of them as well. They're not horribly heavy.
No,
you break your shoulders all day, but if you are in a particularly boggy area, they do sink very well as well, though.
Yeah.
Right.
I think the problems I'd face with yours is, I mean, yours is like quite big. I'd find that hitting it and just sitting and not going down too much, more sticking and vacuuming almost onto the top.
The same as the clamps, and the clamps are the same. They don't, because obviously they're only on one side. You do feel yourself sliding off stuff quite easly.
Yes.
Which is a shame. And with the clamps as well, obviously they are quite a lot thicker than the 360s. So Martin, he has the Beast.
It's the Beast, isn't it?
Like one of the stronger clamps you can get. And I think he spent more time stuck than he has actually fishing. So it can be a bit of a challenge with the clamp magnets, but I guess if the waterways are relatively clear, it makes it a lot easier.
Well, Judy Smith, she wants to know if the clamp magnets are magnetic. What is it? I guess all over, or is it just on the sides, or what? How is the magnet work for the clamp magnet?
I can go grab them quickly. Just bear with me.
So I think it tends to be obviously on the two sides. It's almost like a double-sided. So it's the total pull is split over the two sides.
Okay.
And obviously the casing that is attached to your rope does have some sort of magnetic pull to it, but it's nowhere near as strong as obviously the two flat sides. Or say if you were using a 360, obviously that is kind of split over all of the sides instead of just the two. So They are kind of magnetic,
Oh, look
but
what I've just found.
not as much.
Right.
What you got stuck to it?
Yeah, it's one of the spanners from Sheffield. So this is one of the clamp magnets. This is a little. This is actually the online magnets 200X. So it's 400 kilogram combined, 200 each side. There is a slight bit of magnetism along the edge, on the side, on the flat sides.
Right.
I mean, it's
Okay, so
quite
that is
sturdy.
different than what the 360 is. So it's you're not as magnetic on the round side as you are the flat side. Where like a 360, it's pretty strong all the way around.
So this is the 360. That's
Yeah.
on the top, and then on the
That's sparked.
so on the bottom, it's sparking. So yeah, it kind of shows you how attractive the base of the 360 magnet is.
Just keep those two magnets away from each other, please.
Oh, they are, yeah.
Goodness, there you go. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's inside, on top, and then on the bottom.
Yeah, those are great magnets. I know the Kratos Titan, which is their 3800 only weighs like 4.5 pounds. Would you? I know it's probably very comparable to what you got there. Then,
I broke my scales.
Yeah,
I saw that.
I can't weigh it now.
I think it works around about 2.2 pound per kilo. So yeah, it's probably about the same. In
a couple of kilo, possibly. Yeah.
A bag of sugar.
A couple of bags.
So, if you could go anywhere magnet fishing, if you could just get up and go anywhere right now, where would you go?
For me, I don't think I'd go magnet fishing as such. I think after watching like Aussie gold hunters and stuff like that, I would probably go over in Australia and go metal detecting. And just, I think it's cool how they just walk through the outback and find chunks of gold.
Yeah.
You can't find gold magnet fishing.
No, unfortunately, not unless it's in something else that you catch.
That's it. Yeah. We've never been that lucky. I don't know if you have, but to be honest, I'd quite like to try America. There's too much. There's so much of America. There's such an expanse. You could try one place one day and go back to the same place, well, as you did, where you found your two guns, and find something else a couple of days later. 10 yards up, find something else.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think somebody was
crime rates as well
about the UK, or Great Britain, anyways, and Texas. In that Texas, just the state of Texas, is bigger from one side to the other than Great Britain is.
I mean, yeah,
it's crazy.
I wouldn't mind going places like the Mississippi and things like that. I mean, I've always sort of thought that I'd make a really good hillbilly. So down in places like Kentucky and Appalachia and all that, I think I'd fit in quite well. I like being out in the woods and knives and guns and swamps and just being dirty and yeah.
There's a lot of great places in the South for fishing, and a lot of it has to do with moonshine. Yeah, moonshine is dangerous. The pure moonshine will light you up.
I mean, that's what I'm hoping for.
Well, you would get it. You definitely would get it.
One good thing that us Brits do, and that's drinking.
I think we do a good job of drinking, yeah. There's a program I got really into, Moonshiners. There's a guy called Tim Smith. He actually has a legal distillery. You can buy some of his liquor over here, but it's just extortionate prices because of import.
Right.
I'll get some eventually.
And that's the problem with doing anything like that, is that cost of import for anything like that can just be so high.
Yeah. Well, I mean, import now we're out of Europe can be a little bit of a swine and all. I've spent a couple of £100 at Magnetar, and the delivery company actually charged me 40 extra just to deliver it because of the import tax.
Wow.
The month before, I'd spent about 150 and had nothing. They just delivered it. So
I think as the prices go up, so do the extra charges.
I'm not really fully understanding it, but I want to, Chuv, when I had to pay an extra 40 on top.
Don't worry. Yeah. Because I did a magnet giveaway not too long ago, and I didn't specify, as I should have at the time, that it was U.S. only, just because of that. And the original winner lives in Finland.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah.
So getting the magnet to her, it was going to, the kit itself was going to be like $150, and then getting it to her was going to be almost another $200 on top of the magnet. And so when she got it, before she could even get it, she was going to have to pay some type of fee for getting it just before she could even pick it up from customs and everything. So
yeah.
I had, unfortunately, I had to back out of the magnet with her, but I sent her a shirt, one of my
yeah, I did see,
my masks, and a water bottle. So
that's cool.
I mean, she got something. There's got to be some level of understanding there at the same time, hasn't there?
She did. She completely understood, and thankfully, she was very nice about it. And I hated it because that's not what I wanted to do, but it was the only thing I really could do. So
yeah, I deleted it because it was pointless it being there. Sorry. Yeah, we did a magnet giveaway as well. It was, but I suppose it wasn't really a giveaway. It was more of a for charity. So we chucked a magnet in some coins and got people to guess the weight of the coins on the magnet, and then and then the money that we raised, we sent over to the collab guys.
That's cool.
We didn't do too bad there.
Yeah, we got obviously, like I say, we're sponsored now by Online Magnets, and they, as part of like the deal, if you like, sent us one of the 200 X clamp magnets for free to do with what we do with as what we wished. So obviously we all came to the idea of, as a group, to, like Alex said, do a raffle to raise some money for the Outcasts' good cause. I think we ended up raising around £60, something like that.
Was it? I know there's more money to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I think the overall was a lot higher than what I sent because it wasn't all there at the same time. Because we got some cash as well. So.
Yeah. But we ended up raising money for a good cause and getting another new person into magnet fishing. So a win-win situation.
Well, hopefully tomorrow we're going to get the guy who won the magnet out fishing.
See, now that's cool.
First time.
Yeah.
He happens to be a work colleague of mine as well, so it makes it a lot easier to be in touch with him.
Yes. And it's funny because Tidewater Magnet Throwers, he did a giveaway, and Tidewater sucks now. And he the winner, actually, he's a fireman, and the winner was actually one of his fireman buddies. So he got to take him out magnet fishing for the first time with his magnet that he won. So that was really cool.
Brilliant, yeah. No, there was a guy that came with us yesterday. Was his first time. Again, a work colleague of mine, asking me all the time, when can I come? When can I come? When we've both got the time, we work almost opposite shifts, so trying to get the time off together. He finally came with us last night. He had a fantastic time. Paul came home smelling like the swamp, and he had a massive smile on his face. So
I don't think I've seen anybody do this yet who didn't enjoy themselves while they were doing it.
Oh, you've not met my two older kids?
Yeah, they're all game for coming magnet fishing until about 10 minutes after being there. And then can we go home? Yeah, I'm bored. I'm hungry.
Yeah, one of them needs a wee. One of them's hungry.
Right. That happens. That happens. I usually when my son Clay is with me, what I've started doing now when he starts to get bored is I'll just start a YouTube live and hand him the phone, so we can fish and he's moderating the YouTube live.
Yeah, I mean it would be all right if we had more followers. We need more followers, don't we? Is everybody in here? Is everyone in here subscribed to us now? Then I think they're going to, aren't they?
I think a lot of people have.
I actually have no idea if they have or not.
Well, and that's one of the reasons for this is to introduce you to a whole different crowd, and which I think you have, because there's a lot of people in here I know who, well, I'm pretty sure most of the people in here hadn't heard of you guys yet. So, and that was the point, is to get your name out there. You've got 2 videos up now. You're just getting started. I like doing this to promote other channels, and finding you and seeing that you were a new channel, I thought it was really cool. And you hit me up, and then that, I thought it was cool to get you on here and introduce you to everybody and see if we can help build you up and get you going and make something for you.
No, it's absolutely fantastic. We appreciate it. See, I've been looking forward to this since you said about it. I've done a 14-hour shift at work today, and it's gone so slow. Just waiting to come home and get on here with you guys, say hello and introduce ourselves.
Well, good. I'm glad we were able to work it out. Absolutely.
Even if it's just something a little bit different, people then, get to find out a little bit more what magnet fishing is like in the UK from our, I suppose, quite limited experience over the last 5 or 6 months. But, it's something that we wanted to try and sort of get out there and do. So you're helping that.
Absolutely. And you are always, when I'm doing, well, actually, I guess when I'm doing my lives, it's 3 o'clock in the morning over there. But if you're not able to sleep and you're feeling like jumping on.
Oh, not by all means, no. I am usually asleep at that time, though. You can guarantee that I'll be on a long day at work on a Saturday.
Right.
So, 3 o'clock isn't a time that I like to see.
No,
I did, however, find the penknife. She didn't hide it from me after all.
Oh, you did find it? Okay.
So this is the one that I found the day that I bought the Barbarian. The day that the Barbarian turned up, we took it out. It was only 5 or 6 miles away to a little bit of stretch of water. Chucked it in. See what I tend to do is unravel a bit of my rope, chuck the magnet in, let it do whatever. If it starts sinking, I know when I pull it. Put my gloves on, unravel the rope, hook up, whatever. Pull my rope in. I found out if it's silty or rocky or whatever under there, and then chuck again properly. So I'd done that, and this Swiss Army knife comes up on the first row. It was in absolutely brilliant condition. So I took it home, cleaned it up, and now I take it everywhere with me when I'm fishing.
That's cool. It's like a good luck for you.
Well, yeah, I mean, as well, I wanted to keep it because it's about a 40, 50 quid knife.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's not a bad one at all. But as far as things that we find, I found an old road lamp from, I think it was probably the 70s, 80s. That one needs doing up. I stripped the paint off it, and that's as far as I could be bothered to do because I couldn't take the batteries out.
I'm posting y'all's link again for everybody real fast.
Oh, one of them.
So yeah, if y'all haven't had a chance yet, I just posted the link for the Sleaford Dippers. Get over there and check it out. Show them some love. Comment. Let them know where you saw them first.
Yeah. So at the beginning, you were saying about the different English groups and stuff over here that you'd like to get to know and maybe get on your shows. And
yeah,
stuff.
I am.
We we've been quite lucky, really. We've had some of quite the big groups around the UK getting in touch with us and you know, helping us along our way, telling us some useful information and stuff. People like Peaky Dippers.
Yeah, he's been a great help.
Yeah.
Little bits of advice here and there.
And there's Northants Magnet Fishing. He's kind of like the guy who gets everybody together for the collabs. And,
yeah, he's probably the biggest in the UK as we speak. Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's a guy called Rusty Nuts.
Well, that's the Outcast, them three together, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. So they've all been great. You know, if Alex messages them or myself, they soon get back to us with a reply or go this place or go that place. You know, more than happy to answer our questions, just like you are. So.
Well, that's good.
It's just
Right there around you, are willing to do that.
As a community as a whole, it's everybody helps each other out, and we like that.
It's getting bigger, isn't it? The community.
The community is getting really popular as well, isn't it? Yeah, just the hobby in general is getting really popular. I know I, for one, have made 1 or 2 friends through this as well. Dan Slack, don't know if he's still watching. He's supported our page from day one. Feel quite bad to say, but when I created the Facebook group, we had lots of sort of quite big names in the magnet fishing world join us. I'm like, hey, look at these people on the page, and there's Dan sat in the background. I'm like, Dan, I think I've seen that name on YouTube. Started watching. I'm like, oh well, he's here as well. He's never said a word. He's just sat in the background. I'm like, this guy's pretty cool. And yeah, 1 or 2 others. Dave Jordan. I've made a friend with this guy as well. He asked a question a little bit at the beginning about fishing in winter. Reached out to him and we had a good chat. He's actually coming with us on the 25th for the Manchester collab. So that'll be an absolutely fantastic day. Making new friends, meeting new people. Vinny from Drag the Mag, who we met last night, helped us out. He's been fishing for a lot longer. He's just new on the YouTube and all that. Getting stuck on things. He's there in a flash helping you out. He could have just carried on doing his own thing, filming his own video.
Right.
Just have a laugh with everybody, and everybody's really decent.
Yeah, my cat, I thought she was about to jump up on my seat with me. And that's it is a great community. I never really thought when I started doing this, when I started the YouTube channel, that I was going to run into a community. The community aspect never even entered my mind until I got into it, and then I started meeting all these people and everybody who comes to my lives, who comments on the videos. I'll go to other people's lives and they're there. Go look at other people's videos and those same names pop up on other people's videos, and it just makes you feel good to see that everybody is being communal and sharing the love with other channels, and it goes across the board. It's not just magnet fishing. It's we call it the treasure fam. The treasure family is, as we call it now, is the magnet fishers, your metal detectorists, your divers who go diving and finding treasure. You know, like
mudlarking with them as well.
Yeah. And then of course you've got the prospectors, which are the guys out there looking for gold and silver and anything like that they can find. So it's right across the board. You'll go find some of these channels and all these same names will be there, and it's just really cool.
Well, I've been part of quite a few different sort of communities, and you find that they're just full of snobs. So over here we don't so much have shooting, but we have air rifle, things like that. Yeah, cool, Dan. So there's lots of air rifle clubs, and you find snobbishness on there. Jason, myself, we like our animals, exotics, and you find a lot of snobbish on there. Somebody hasn't set something up right. What's the big one? Need more substrate.
Yeah.
You know, the snobbery in all these different groups. But then you come to something like this, and there's no snobbery. Look at what I've got. This is this magnet. Look at your poxy little thing. You know, it's absolutely fantastic to see everybody always just happy and joining together all the time.
Right. And like Pond is saying, they found lots of good channels in live sessions like this, and I have too. There's a lot of channels I love to watch that I never would have even heard of if it weren't for going into someone's live and finding them there. So
yeah. So Dan just mentioned about the 24-hour event, and that's the event that I'll be attending with Martin and Dave. Dan will be going. I think he told me he was going on the Saturday for a walk around and then fishing on the Sunday. I think there will be a few groups there doing the full 24 hours. There's a guy called Scott Bryant of Patriot Magnets raising money for Help for Heroes. I did mention the Veterans Charity.
yes,
yes. And he'll be fishing for the 24 hours as well. I'm not going to make. I like my sleep. I'm not going to make 24 hours, but we're going up on the Saturday, so it'll be good to see a lot of faces up there that I've never met before.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, hopefully we'll be meeting Dan up there that day as well on the Saturday on his walk around. I'll try and pull him in on the video.
That'll be interesting. I've heard or seen a couple other people talk about that, and I think the videos that'll come out of that are going to be pretty cool.
I think a lot of people on the big cancer research collab pulled out mostly rebar, so hopefully we're not pulling out rebar in a swamp. But yeah, I suppose it always is what it is on the day. You can have a look at a spot one day and it can be clear. You can go back to it and all the swamp reeds has just gone totally covered it up the next day.
Right. I can see that.
Well, there's a spot that we like to go to, and it very rarely lets us down. But the problem with that is it's tidal, and there's also big lock gates on it. So when they open that, it's hit or miss as to what's on the other side, as to what we get on the side that we fish on. It could either be really clear and absolutely fantastic, or it could just be sea lettuce, seaweed, and all that crap that sits on the top of the surface, and all that is just vile some days.
Yeah. There's a couple places that I've been to where one day you'll go there and fish, and it's just covered with like lily pads, and you can come back by there the next time and there's none there. And me and Jason were fishing there one day, and there was just a little open area that we could throw our magnets in, and all of a sudden, like a big part of the weeds like break off and start moving. And it was like that. It just was wild. You're sitting there and this big island of weeds starts coming, and it goes up under the bridge. And then another piece breaks out. And we went from having maybe this 20-foot by 20-foot section to throw our magnets in to about 30, 45 minutes later, the whole side was clear. All the weeds had broken loose and gone over to the other side of the bridge. It was really cool.
Well, I mean, this particular spot that we go to, some days we can be there and it'll be full, and you're fishing and it's getting emptier and emptier. But every now and then it will empty as we're fishing, and you can see stuff that you're trying to get out. Like I've been getting snagged on that. What's that, spade? I've been getting snagged on that spade for 45 minutes. And then out of nowhere, it just starts filling up again. It does give you a cheeky little cheat as to where to chuck your magnet.
That's cool.
But then I suppose a lot of the time, a lot of stuff might come through with the lock as well when they open the lock gates.
Yes, I can see that.
So again, it's a hit and miss as to what you might sort of find.
Alaskans on the fly up there. He's going to be battling icebergs real soon.
Yeah, they're not magnetic.
No, but they will snag your magnet.
Oh, yeah, okay. Fair. We don't have icebergs over here. Don't experience that one.
If you go watch Alaskans on the Fly, you'll see some of their videos from earlier in this year where it's still iced up there, and they're throwing their magnet. Their magnet is hitting the ice and dunk, 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 dunk.
We'll have to have a look.
Or like they're like, okay, I want to fish there, so he's like throwing his magnet, trying to catch the edge of the ice to break it off and just kind of open the hole up a little bit more so he can fish in it. It's pretty interesting to see. Yeah.
So do you guys over in America and Alaska and places like that, do you have in your kit bags, do you have like grappling hooks and stuff as well?
Oh, grappling hooks, of course. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's my favorite bit. My grappling hook's my favorite bit of kit.
That's how we pulled the motorcycle up out of the water, was because of our grappling hooks.
Right. Yeah. We the Barbarian and the Terror are pretty good at doing stuff like that, but sometimes you do need the old grappling hook, don't you?
Yes.
We use ours as well if we turn up to a location and it is quite weedy, like Alex is saying. We use it to spend half an hour, 45 minutes just chucking the grappling hook in and out and just clearing the spot ourselves rather than waiting for the river to take its course and clear the spot, you know. It's really good. So
I've used you'll feel yourself get snagged on a log or a branch, and I use that to go out there and grab the branch and pull the branch off to the side, and then that way you're clear to fish that area again. So
yeah, well, we try.
Sometimes it's not about pulling the treasure up with the hook. Sometimes it's using the hook to get yourself to the treasure.
Yeah, definitely. We sometimes use some of the smaller magnets as well, you know, just to like test the water and see whether, like you say, there's snags and things like that. So before we chuck the big expensive magnets in.
Use the small cheap one. We don't mind losing.
Yeah, definitely.
Had I done that first on the day I lost my dockbuster, I still have my dockbuster.
Yeah.
The day we got the Barbarian stuck, we had to use 3 magnets to retrieve it.
Yeah, that was a hard day.
That's kidding.
So, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Do you, myself and Alex and a couple of the other guys in the group, we all have kind of bucket lists for magnet finds. Do you have one yourself? What sort of, if you do, what sort of stuff do you have on there?
You know, I'm kind of guilty of not putting together a bucket list.
I suppose being in America,
well, it is. There's a lot of people who put together a bucket list, and it's not something I've done.
No.
I really don't. I just don't want to find just anything. Just surprise me.
Yeah.
I like that surprise.
You guys find all my bucket list items.
Yeah, Alex has a bucket list, and he steals off our like bucket lists, and I've had a few things off of his recently. Martin, Alex wanted to find a skateboard. Martin pulled one out the other day. Alex wanted to find a lock key. I found one the other day. Yesterday.
That's funny.
Alex finds all the cool stuff though, like the guns and the knives and the machetes and things like that. So he kind of deserves things being ticked off his bucket list by us.
Well, we were joking about like a bingo card and putting just random stuff on the bingo card, and then if you find something, you mark it off, and the first person to get bingo, you know.
I've actually seen that. I posted it in our chat group.
Yeah,
and you get points for say you find a push bike without wheels, you get 10 points, but you find a complete one, you get 50 points and things like that.
Yeah, something like that. That's
a
cool idea. It does. It gets you more involved in what you're doing, and it adds a little extra oomph to you wanting to be out there doing it.
Yeah.
So the day I found the sewing machine, which I think is probably singly the most interesting thing I've ever found.
It's really random.
It was an old Singer sewing machine, and it was heavier than I ever imagined it could be, and it unfortunately it didn't come home with me. this road lamp did actually come out as yellow as that, but I stripped it all down, but it's the batteries that are stuck in there that I can't get out. But eventually this will be derusted and repurposed.
That's cool.
I want to turn it into just a normal light, which might be a little bit cool. But one of the things, oh, it's stuck to that now. One of the things that people always ask is, what are you doing? Condom with a 10p coin inside was a weird one. Who was I not there that day?
No.
People asking, what are you doing? Fishing,
Yes,
magnet fishing. What's that? Do you find fish? And I like it when you can say yes.
Yep. There you go.
And you find a fishing lure that is actually like a fish. And people look at you all gone out. What are you doing? Magnet fishing. So what are you catching? Fish? Like, no, it's a big magnet and we find metal. But every now and then we do catch a fish. Yes.
I get the what's a magnet fish?
What's a magnet fish? Yeah.
Yes. No, there's not a magnet fish. And usually they ask you, they'll say it 3 times. What are you doing? I'm magnet fishing. You're doing what? I'm magnet fishing. What? Magnet fishing. It's like almost 3 times you got to say it. And I had one guy, he said, this old man, he goes, well, I guess if the fish was wearing braces, you could catch it.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, you do get some goofy looking fish, don't you? I don't really know about the dentistry side of the fish, but
you never know.
Any of the guys in the chat, what's their best questions that they've ever been asked? I'm quite curious now.
Okay, well that's he's asking
what
everybody
kind of fish bite magnets, yeah.
What is the weirdest questions any of you in the chat have had somebody ask you while you're out magnet fishing? Well, here's
while we wait.
One of the basic questions that we get quite a bit.
What are you catching? Yeah. Anything that's metal. Oh, have you ever had gold?
I get that a lot too. You kept jewelry?
Yeah.
No.
No, it's a very sad time when you have to say no, and you know that you're never going to get anything gold. And I know for a fact that Martin sat there singing Cash Converters right now. I don't know if you have anything like that over your end. It's pawn shop type thing.
The pawn shops?
Yeah, so we've got a big sort of
like the equivalent.
Yeah, the equivalent of a pawn shop over here called Cash Converters. It's usually where all the crackheads go to sell a stolen phone or sell a ring for some drugs or something. But
and they don't ask any questions when you bring it in there either.
No.
I think sometimes they can do with electronics and things.
Yeah, I think it's more of a name and an address and where did you get it from. But if you're looking at selling stuff like that, you're probably not going to have your real name handed over, are you? So
I think they probably do ask for ID these days.
Why would you want to do that? Do what?
Why would you want a magnet fish? Why would you want?
Yeah, that's people questions that they'll ask.
Yeah.
Do we get this one too? Are you checking the water depth?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We were out last week, I think it was, and somebody asked us if we worked for the waterways and if we were checking the landscape out under the water. Was checking for like obviously the depth and if there's anything in there. And it was a bit of a weird question, really, but we were in a weird location, so.
Yeah. You work for the water department, just weird stuff like that.
Yeah.
We've had some right strange characters come up to us, haven't we? That day in Boston.
Yeah, that was a bit strange.
If you can imagine, I don't know. I don't want to be rude and offend anybody, but like a country yokel, straw hat, checkered shirt, cut off jeans. The only thing she was missing was a piece of straw coming out of her mouth.
Oh, the lady was telling us about owning a cave.
A cave, yeah. So she came and she stood there. She says, "What you doing?" Like, told her. She's like, "Oh, I've heard of that." And then completely randomly, off on a tangent, she said she lived in a cave house in Spain or something, and she was doing up a transit van, and she had to have about 16 batteries hooked up to make it run or something. And then she stood there. She's like, do you want me to roll your cigarettes for you?" And she's telling us about when she was a kid, and like, this is not interesting.
Yeah.
And the fact that she just started telling us she lived in a cave house.
She was one of the people who had been taking the stuff to that cash converters.
I was expecting her to crack the banjo out. Ding, 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 ding.
They all ask me what the point is. But yeah, we've been asked that before. Funnily enough, it was the one person that we've met in our short period of magnet fishing that was not happy about the fact that we were magnet fishing. It's literally the only person, and she was like, "Well, what are you doing that for? You're doing more damage than you are good, and I'm phoning the police and this that." And
is this the woman that said you were killing the fish?
Yeah. She was really grumpy about the fact we were magnet fishing. We tried to explain to her that we were doing it for the good of the river and the fish, and but she was having none of it, so we just left and went somewhere else.
I suppose a lot of people see it as if it's been down there a long time, it can create a bit of an environment maybe for the wildlife in there, but at the same time it doesn't belong in there. So essentially, if it is full of oil or something, it will eventually leak out and create more harm than good.
Well, it is strange to me when people get upset about what we're doing, and I've only had one person really kind of get snippy. I wouldn't say they were really upset. They're seeing the pile of stuff that we have, and they're like, well, look at this garbage. I'm like, yeah, but this garbage was down in the water. It's out of the water and it's up on the shore now, and it will be taken care of. And it just didn't click with them, I don't think, what really was going on. Either that or they were just in a bad mood and wanted to be pissy with somebody.
We have a similar thing in the UK called dippers and scrappers.
Yes, it's a big directory.
It's just like a giant directory, and when we've finished, we phone up the local scrap merchant, and they come and collect it, and take it away for us. They make money. We get to keep the banks and the rivers clean. So
yes,
it's good.
Well, it's just something we enjoy doing mostly, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose one of the most annoying things, again, with us being so new and trying to become established, is the fact that we always try and clean up after ourselves. We have been to spots before and then gone back, and our scrap is still there, even after calling Scrapman. And one of our biggest problems is because we're not that established, is sort of gaining a bad name for that. You can't always guarantee that you're going to have a reliable scrapman, which I think that dippers and scrappers is quite handy to have. Yeah. We've left scrap out before and called scrapman, and it's still been there 3 weeks later.
Yeah, we've dealt with that as well.
Especially now we're breaking into the world of YouTube, and we could post a video up and show things that were found, place it in a pile for the scrapman, and then somebody's watched the video, gone along to that spot, sees that scrap, and goes, "Well, they don't clean up after themselves."
Yes. Yeah, that's it. It's not fun. We've gone through some scrappers and actually had some words with a couple of scrappers who said they would come get something and then never made it out there to get it. And I'm working on getting a vehicle. where I can put a trailer on it and then just take the trailer out there and just throw everything on the trailer. But I'm not there yet.
Do you guys have to have licenses over there to take scrap, large amounts of scrap?
No.
No, see, over here, I believe you've got to be licensed scrapman to take scrap. So you've got to have the license to take the scrap to scrapyards, tips, etc.
Wow.
So that's something that we don't have. I believe that's right. Don't quote me. I believe. Especially I'm saying this because when I'm looking for scrapmen available, it's like fully licensed, etc., etc.
Yes,
that's something that we don't have. Barring bringing all the scrap home, filling my garden up, and then calling somebody who might come and pick it up.
You know, it's I try to take what I can, like the smaller stuff I put in my bucket. If it'll fit in my trunk, it goes in my trunk. But a lot of it, unfortunately, we have to leave behind. But we don't have to deal with all the licensing and stuff. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to listen to you and read comments and keep up with what you're saying and keep up with what's going on in the chat section over here also.
So what I try and do, especially if there's lots of small things, is we call them stink bags, and we've got heavy duty bin bag basically things. Fill them up. We always try and fish near a bin as well. That way we can put any small things in the bins.
Right.
The big stuff we pile neatly by the bin, and then it's a case of finding a scrap man that might come and take it. But kind of almost sort of feel a bit better that we've left it by a bin, because then it would have to be emptied by one of our local councils. And that way, if it's there, then, you know, the council could maybe take it instead of a scrap man if they haven't made it.
Yeah, sometimes we're able to find dumpsters, garbage cans to put stuff into. I try not to put a lot of metal and stuff like that into the bins. Just it's much better if it can go to a scrapyard where it can be repurposed, and recycled and whatnot. But sometimes you just can't. But if it's out of the water and you can get it away from the water and you know it's going to go somewhere other than in the water, that always is a better start than where it was at when you found it.
I believe also it could be classed as fly tipping as well. Just leaving large amounts of scrap lying around. You do what you can your end, calling a scrap man, they don't come. I think it could be classed as fly tipping. If there's anybody in the UK that's watching this right now, they could maybe confirm or correct me, possibly. I don't know. I don't actually know who we've got. I've got it all up here. I don't know. Don't know who's actually there though.
Yeah, something that does aggravate me, and then I've got to get a broom because I like trying to keep everything as cleaned up for myself as I can. I put it all, everything in a pile. And today, there was some stuff, and I just kind of swept it off into one area. So the next time I go over there, I can get it. But I got to get a broom and a dustpan. I need to get a bag so I can sweep everything up and put it all nice and neat. If you're going out there to clean the place up, you don't want to clean it up and then leave a mess.
That's it as well, especially when sometimes you're pulling out, let's say, a scaffold bar and it's got all that black sludge water in it. As soon as you lift it up, it all just comes out one end.
Yes.
We've got a bucket that we like to sort of swill the area down with a lot of the time as well.
And I've seen a lot of the UK channels do that, and I like that.
Yeah, it just pushes it all back in and clears a footpath for the people that walk down it. So do you guys have sort of similar canal systems? I don't know.
In some areas, there are. There's a spot here in Jacksonville that me and Jason have found.
Toilet is the last couple of days. Give it a camera.
But we don't have the canal systems like what you guys have. And we sure as heck don't have those big ass long boats that go cruising down them.
Hey, they're actually really good fun.
First time I
there's
saw one of those go down one of those canals, I'm sitting there looking and I'm like, what in the world is the freaking limo boat?
They're not the most comfortable things to sleep on or pass by in the galley sort of area. Been on a canal boat holiday a few years back, and it was actually really good fun. I've never 3-point turned one of them in my life, and I actually hit it spot on. It was really good fun. I broke it in a tunnel. The rudder arm, tiller arm. We're going through a tunnel, must have been about a mile long, absolutely pitch black. We've got this piddling little light at the front, couldn't see nothing. Every now and then you'd see another little light coming towards you. Like, well, I don't know where I am in the tunnel, and the tunnel started to sort of bend, and I hit the side of the boat. The arm swung out and snapped in half off the wall of the tunnel.
Oh crap!
That was within 10 minutes of me having my first ever go on steering a boat like that.
Well, you went all out, didn't you?
Well, go big or go home.
Right, go big or go home. Absolutely.
No, they're actually really good fun. People live on them over here as well.
I kind of figured probably they did. There's a lot of really neat, like watching Bondi Treasure Hunter. I don't know, have you seen him? Bondi.
Oh, yeah, we watched a lot. Yeah.
Sorry, me and my girlfriend have an argument if it's Bondi or Bondi.
No, we say Bondi, don't we? Yeah.
Thank you.
He's Australian. He would say Bondi.
It's Bondi Beach. It's not Bondi Beach, is it?
Right, exactly. But he's fishing on those canals over there, like in Amsterdam, and there are some wild-looking houseboats sitting on some of those canals.
Yeah,
it's one of many things that Amsterdam is famous for,
it's
isn't
the
it?
canals and the water system. Yeah.
Yes. Thanks, Alaska. Brother man.
What's
Catch
that?
you on the next one. Thanks so much.
I'm gonna do that now. I'm quite interested to see these icebergs that you can get snagged on. Alaska on the fly. There we go. Alaska on the fly.
It's so cool because during the summer and spring and summer over there or up there, it's really nice. It's beautiful. And then the snow starts to come and the creeks and the rivers and everything ice over, and it just makes it really hard for them to fish up there.
See, I haven't actually been normal fishing for a long time. It is something I used to enjoy a lot of, but I think that's why I enjoy the magnet fishing, because it's just something a little bit more different.
It's similar, isn't it? It's the unknown.
It's the unknown, but I mean, with fishing, if you've got certain lure, certain bait, certain swim feeds, certain flavors, whatever, you've got an idea of what you're going for. So if you're fishing for a carp, chances are you'll probably catch carp. If you're fishing for perch, you're using a spinner, chances are you might find a perch, you might catch perch. With magnet fishing, the only certainty is you're going to pull something metal.
Yeah. Yep. You just don't know what.
That's exactly it. Yeah, you don't know what, and it's the uncertainty of everything that you find. I think.
Yeah.
I quite enjoy it because one thing might be just a bit of rust. You might get in a magnetic rock. You're pulling it back, going, "Hey, this is heavy," and you've got a rock like that. And then you might get on something really big and go, "What's that?" So yesterday there was 3 of us pulling on a push bike. There's 2 magnets and a grapple on a push bike. Like, this has got to be something really big.
Yeah.
And half a push bike came up instead.
Yeah. Well, and you know what though, that's still pretty cool. It's something unexpected. you don't know what you're going to get when you do it, and you pull stuff up like that. Me and my son, we found like a little trailer that you would attach to the back of a bicycle, a little tow trailer that actually attaches to the back of the bicycle. You know, so we pulled one of those up before, and that thing come up out of the water, and it was my first impression. I'm looking at it, it's like, what the fuck am I looking at? It just didn't click with me what it was, and then I saw the arm and realized what it was. But
well, that's what we thought yesterday with the skip bin was what is this? And then we got it moving, and a lot of plastic bottles came to the top, and we were certain it was a trolley, weren't we, that had just been stuck and sludged into the silt for a long time.
Yeah.
And the problems that I'm having is we're fishing later on into the dusk these days, and that's where my videos are coming from. But in the video, you can actually see that when we get it moving, the amount of sort of suction it caused when we pulled it out, it scared. There's a lot of swans that came in at that point as well. It scared a lot of the swans, and it just created a massive whirlpool in the top of the water.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, she's asleep. Brilliant.
Oh.
That means I can sleep tonight as well. But yeah,
well, we're going on midnight over there right now, aren't we?
It's nearly 1:45. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we will probably have to say goodnight at some point.
Yeah, I was thinking I wasn't planning on having this as one of my. A lot of time, my Friday night lives can go 3-4 hours sometimes.
Yeah. No, it's what it is, isn't it? We've been sat here chatting, and I mean, I can say that I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, definitely. It's the problem when you get talking to like-minded people who like similar things, isn't it? You end up talking throughout for hours, you know. Like
absolutely.
Like Alex mentioned earlier, we both like our reptiles and our exotic animals and stuff. I do it as like a second job, so I go around schools and TV and film and all of that sort of stuff, doing educational shows. And quite often I have to get a nudge from the colleague to say we need to move on to this next animal, or we need to start wrapping up now, you know, because I love talking about animals and I just go on about it forever.
I mean, I'm pretty sure my work colleagues get a bit bored of me rattling on about magnet fishing. I know I do get the eye roll, and it's one of them eye rolls that you can hear as well.
Yes.
The eyes crank as they go around. Oh, again. He's still going on about that.
I've been there and dealt with that. Yes. I think everybody in here who magnet fishes has seen that eye roll.
Well, there's one thing I've said it quite a lot. It usually makes me chuckle anyway. What's the difference between a flat Earth believer and a vegan? Absolutely nothing, because they've all got to tell you.
Right.
But then that's the same as magnet fishing, isn't it?
Well, you know what though? It's true. It's the passion though. You got a passion for it, and you want to tell everybody what you're doing. You want to tell everybody what you found, and some people are receptive to it and they want to hear about it, and that's why I love doing this, because everybody in here wants to hear and wants to see, you know, what everybody has found. And that's the whole point in all of this is just to have a point. And that's the Facebook pages. I love going to the Facebook pages and seeing all the stuff that everybody else has pulled up and just seeing the neat things. And that's
I like seeing what other people find. I can't help but sometimes feel a little bit jealous of what people find, though, especially if it's in a place that we've been to a lot of times.
Right. Yes.
Like, we've been here like 5 times, and then you come and find this, that, and the other. Is why couldn't we have found that? The amount of times we've been here.
It's aggravating, but it's the whole luck of the draw is what it really comes down to. So
that's it, yeah. And I think as well, it always depends on where you are. We're in a very small town, not a small town, but we're in a little town. It's got a river, but it's not that great. So we've got to travel We're finding ourselves traveling further and further out to find better places. We're finding cities have been quite productive for us.
Definitely.
But then every now and then, you could literally chuck your magnet in a pond. Ask what you're doing, and then ask if they can try. That was in Lincoln, wasn't it?
Yeah, and Stanford. That was the best one.
Stanford?
Yeah,
that was. Yeah. What did I pull out there? I pulled a spade out or something, didn't I?
Yeah, we had this really old couple, bless them. They was just on a holiday, passing through where we were fishing, and the guy, he was like really happy about what we were doing.
He was also really deaf, which was absolutely hilarious because his wife was yelling at him.
Yeah,
he stood there smiling. He stood there smiling while we're talking to him, and while she's talking to him, and she's going, "Have a go. You carry on. You started that."
yeah. She basically was like trying to tell him to have a go, but he couldn't hear a word anybody was saying. So he just stood there smiling.
So we just stood there smiling.
Yeah, and then in the end, she took a picture of him.
He did have a go.
Yeah,
he did have a go when he pulled like a bottle cap out or something.
That's funny.
Yeah,
but yeah, we rigged it with a spade on the end that I pulled out earlier on in the day. There's a chunk here, hold that, and she took a picture of it.
He was probably proud. I was really impressed, wasn't he?
Yeah. Well, you couldn't
cool.
hear that.
I started doing a thing called the bottle cap game. And it's when you find it, because bottle caps got so just overplayed, just pulling bottle caps up, found another bottle cap chunk. But so if it comes up,
until you watch our new video.
Well, what I do now is if it comes up face down, we'd play the bottle cap game. All right, I've got a bottle cap face down. What is it? And everybody who's there gets to put in a guess of what it is.
Yeah.
And then you flip it over and you see who's right. And it all it does is it just kind of breaks up the whole monotony of doing the same thing and of pulling up, okay, another bottle cap. It makes it fun. So
yeah. We was in Lincoln a few weeks ago. It's actually the day that I found this mooring hook. We've been to a couple of spots up and down. I do a Saturday shout video, so next one I do, all these new channels will be on it. Brilliant, Dan. Yeah, so we tried a couple of spots up and down. Didn't really find an awful lot. I chucked the magnet in, I pulled a full BMX out. My son's riding up and down the walkway on that. And then it was quite a busy centre in Lincoln City Centre, and lots of people stopping and talking to us. There was one family, I think, sounded like they were. I say Newcastle, it means nothing to you guys over there. It's quite far away. I think one of their kids had a go and got absolutely soaked as the rope splashed back. And then there were these two lasses walking past. I think they'd been day drinking. They're both on Snapchat filming themselves. She's like, "Let me have a go." And before I'd said yes or no, she's got my rope in my hand. I'm like, "Right, okay." She goes, "Now what?" I said, "Chuck it. Just throw it in." I said, "Don't get it stuck to anything metal that's outside of the water and throw it in." And they're both there holding each other, aren't they? I think they were half cut though.
I think they'd been having a few drinks, haven't they?
Well, we went to one spot one afternoon, and my son and my daughter, my eldest two, were with us. My son's there; he's happily fishing away, and this woman rocks up. There's two kids, and they just ran amok, and they're surrounding my boy. "Let me have a go. Let me have a go." And he stood there like, "No, fuck off. Just and they're taking the magnet out of his hand. I'm like, "Oi." Every time he pulled the magnet in, they're jumping on, taking the magnet out of his hand. "What you got? What you got? What you got?" It's like, now, a bit of weed.
I was at a fishing pier boat ramp or boat dock last year, And it was the same thing. These kids just got so excited about seeing what I was doing because they'd seen it on YouTube. And every time I pulled the magnet up, they were right there. And before I'm sitting there trying to discuss with my camera, and what I've got, and they're like, "Oh, you got this," and they're pulling stuff off my magnet. And I'm like, "Guys, come on now, I got a video to film."
One of Dan Slack's videos is very similar, and I think he handled that really well. I'd have got quite annoyed, turned the camera off, and kicked him away from me because that did look very annoying. I actually, bloody kids, innit? So I'd found my first square nail, and it was maybe about 7 inches, 8 inches long, and it was really good condition. It wasn't bent or anything. And there was this little kid. What you doing? What you doing? Can I have a go? Can I have a go? I'm like, no, you can't have a go. You're wearing really nice clothes, mate. You don't want to get them dirty. Look at the state of me. He's like, well, what you found? I showed him. He goes, can I have something? I'm like, well, what do you want? Is that something that you found? I'm like, it's just metal scrap. Is that I want to take something? So I said, there you go then. Take this square nail. That's really old, and you know it's old. It's square. It's handmade, and there's loads of history. And his dad said something because we've got a lot of Polish and Lithuanian, Romanian. Said something to him in a different language, and the kid chucked it in the long grass, and I never found it. As it disappeared.
Oh shit! That's when you throw your magnet over there, man.
I didn't actually see what direction he threw it. As I turned around, I heard it land. I'm like, he's just fucking thrown that.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So I try not to let kids near me when I'm magnet fishing.
Yeah, it can be, especially when they're not your kids.
Well, I don't even like them near me. Yeah, I do. That's a joke. We spend most of the time trying to pull the magnets off the side, don't we?
Yeah, definitely.
No.
So,
Well.
Well, guys, we're going to go ahead and bring this to an end here.
Yeah,
I had fun. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for coming in. It was nice to meet you. Nice to get to introduce you to everybody. It was cool to see some, DS in here. We've been following each other for a while. So it was very nice to get to know you. Hope you picked up some subscribers, and hope you'll get some comments and people watching your channel, and hope you get to see some channels in here that you'll get to have a chance to watch and enjoy and comment with. And once again, you are always, if for some reason you can't sleep in the middle of the night on a Friday night or Saturday morning and you want to come on my live, you're welcome.
I will tell you, actually, I can't see who has subscribed. I might have a notification here, actually. Oh, no, not that one. So we started off with, we started tonight off with 50 subs. We're up to 58.
Well, there you go.
So I'm going to guess that these came from you. So everybody that's watched tonight, thank you for subbing. I said it in my first video, the videos will get better, and I feel like I lied because it didn't, and it was still dark and dingy in the second. But they will. They'll get better.
Go, if you haven't done it yet, any of the channels, and I use mine as an example all the time. Go back and watch my first few videos and just look at how horrible they were. And and it's versus where I'm at now with my editing and everything, and what I've learned. And what you've got to learn is film and edit not for you. You're not doing it for you. You're doing it for the people who are going to be watching. And there's been more than a couple of times in my videos where I'll say something that is directly meant for the people who I know show up every Friday night to my lives, and the people I know watch my videos. I will throw little tidbits in my videos directed straight at them.
At Easter eggs, yeah.
Yeah, so if you do that, and then as people start following you and they start commenting on your videos, as you start interacting with them during your videos, and when you're able to start doing lives and everything, you'll find that, well, actually you can do lives now. You can't do lives on a cellular device until you hit 1,000, but you can do lives on YouTube on your computer.
We can do it on YouTube quite easily. Yeah. I did see actually that one of the guys that subbed to me is the guy that won the magnet. And I don't know if he's in here or not. I don't know if he actually knew. But if he's watching, he needs to be ready for 3 o'clock tomorrow, because we're going to go out and film a video. It'll only be a short video, and it will be daylight, so we'll be able to see everything.
There you go.
It'll only be a short one. It'll be introducing Jonathan, who won the magnet, and letting him have his first few chucks on video. So,
well, good. That'll be interesting to see. And it's neat that you're bringing him out and introducing him to that and exposing him to it and putting him in on your video. So that's really cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he won the magnet and he's been interested in it for a while. Like Wesley, who was out with us yesterday, he's been interested. He's been banging on about it for weeks at me. When can I come? When can I come? Right, whenever you're free. Turned out it's free yesterday, and he absolutely loved it. So
well, that's cool.
Time will tell with Jono tomorrow. We'll see what he likes. But there will be a video up. If he's smiling at the end, then we know he's happy.
Right. Well, good luck then on that. I can't wait to see that. And tell him the Squatch says hi.
I will do. In fact, actually, you can watch this back.
Yeah, well, there you go. You can do that too.
Yeah, there we go. No, it's been fantastic talking to you, and it absolutely appreciate you inviting us over to this. It's been different, let's say. Hope we answered all the questions for you guys. But
if not, drop us a comment in one of our videos, and we'll try and answer them there. Or
at least maybe join us on the Facebook group, same name as YouTube, Sleaford Dippers Magnet Fishing.
Absolutely.
We don't need to accept requests on there, so anybody can join, anybody can post favourite finds, post your YouTube videos, say hi, introduce yourselves.
It all goes.
Yeah, it's all there, as long as it's on topic.
Well, there you go.
There we go. No,
well, all right, guys.
Very much tonight. Well, we'll talk soon, Jason. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Y'all have a great night. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
And like I say,
see you
stay
soon.
squatchy, y'all.
And you. And to everybody else, bye-bye.